What is it?
Yucca.
What is yucca? Spell that.
Some exercise from India.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Art. Well, you can use that term in a lot of different ways. I mean, painting is obviously one way, but
Yeah.
a good cook.
I like to painting, but I can't do it very bad.
Yeah. But yeah, when we say art, we can use it a lot of different ways,
Yeah.
and especially you know what I do. I guess everybody considers it art. But then you look at a good cook, and it's a matter of taking ingredients and combining them and making something new and something different. I don't know how different my stuff is. It's kind of why I got involved in art is just that I get this inspiration to do things based on what I saw another person do. So I mean, I saw a guy that I work with who was a watercolor painter, and I looked at it and I went, wow, that's really good. And I somehow thought that I could do it. I could do something like that, or I wanted to try and do something like that. And it didn't happen because I wasn't trained. I wasn't really trained. And to this day, I really have never been formally trained. I've kind of willed myself to learn how to paint. And whether it's good or not, I don't know. I guess I leave that up to people who look at it. But there's something in me that wants to come out, and I had to do that through watercolor. And I still am, inspired to do it. Inspiration, I guess that's the word you might use, because unless you have that feeling, that spark, that desire, it's hard to go down and start painting something. And to get that is kind of a mystery. How do you get inspired? How do you feel that urge to create? And you'll see many people who have been involved in the arts that struggle with that. Famous writers and people that have writer's block, and they search for a way to, be able to create. And it comes and goes. So anyway, where I got started was in Detroit, actually at Michigan State. I thought I wanted to be in art, so I went to, I didn't go to Michigan State with that in mind, to be an artist. When I got there, I was in a no-pref environment, which meant that I was going to take a year or two and figure out what I wanted to do. Today, you can't afford to do that. You can't afford to go to a college and not, know what you're doing, because it costs too much money. But back then it wasn't quite as expensive. And I always liked the idea of maybe getting involved in art. I kind of drew. I wasn't really that good of a drawer, but people thought I was, and that idea of maybe getting into some kind of field related to art kind of directed me into the art department at MSU. And when I got in there, the art department at MSU is geared more towards fine arts and teachers, people who want to become a teacher, and I didn't want either of those things. I was thinking more in terms of, I've got to get a job when I get out of college. What am I going to do once I graduate? And when I was in the art department, all I see is people who are, long hair, involved with the drug culture, that were avant-garde, kind of, not like me. I considered myself, even though I was, a teenager and not, someone who just sat home and studied all day. I was a young guy, and I got involved in things probably I shouldn't get involved in. But these people were very different than me, and I was thinking that I'm not finding anything within this art department that's going to help me get a job when I get out of here. So my mind was geared more towards commercial art. I was thinking of a way to get a job within